Hey guys, we're here in the shop and we're getting ready to finally get started working on the new car, right?
Yep.
Here it is. Anyhow, in this video, the main thing we're gonna do, I'm sure we'll do a few little things here and there, but the main thing we want to do and our goal for this week is to get our engine mounted up, mocked up, whatever you want to call it, in this car. So hang out with us and we'll see if we can get it done. Alright, so first thing we gotta do is we gotta get the front clip off here. Chase has already get started. Huh?
We gotta get it torn apart.
Gotta get it tore apart. Chase, like I say, has already got started here. Got the one of the fenders off. We can finally get in here and see. Golly. Yeah, so we're gonna get these fenders off and the nose piece off so we can get in there and work on it. And then we'll have to see about getting it up in the air. But anyhow, that's what we're gonna do now. That's what we're doing right now. Ain't much to it really, is there? Huh? Ain't much to it really, is there? Not the fenders anyway. I don't know about the, I'm not sure about the nose piece.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Let's see if we got it loose. Where's the holding it?
I don't know. Maybe it was rivet.
Oh, maybe you just gotta pick it up.
No, there's one rivet. Right
There's
here.
a rivet?
Yeah. Hold on.
That's probably to hold the hood filler down. There's how many bolts? 4 bolts?
Yeah.
4 bolts holding the nose piece on, and start to pull it off, and there's a rivet. One rivet holding it on.
There we go.
Now what come?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I think so. Alright. Alright, there's the nose piece. There's the bumper. The bumper's in good shape. It's brand new, huh?
Yeah.
They welded this on. I guess in case you go up underneath somebody. Yeah. Alright, so now we gotta get the bumper off. And this is the best tool you can have for getting one of these bumpers off. You pretty much have to tap it out, but then you're not denting your steel. Alright, that's the front clip off. So, now what?
Bumper off.
The
The bumper.
bumper, whatever. The front of it's off. So now we gotta figure out how to get it up in the air. I think we're gonna try to make our rolling, what do you call them? Dolly? Chassis? Dolly? Chassis dolly?
I call them rolling jack stands.
Rolling jack stands, whatever. We're gonna adapt ours to fit this car. That's the way.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. Alright. Alright, so let's get this figured out. Hey guys, I'm starting to weld these things together now. This is what I got. This piece here, welding on first for my uprights to set on. I weld my uprights on it like that on both sides. I'm gonna build me a cradle on top to set under the bar, and then I'll add a little bit. I'll add some type of bracing because I don't know. It may not need it, but I don't really feel comfortable just having them straight up with a 3,000 pound car sitting on it. So, but anyway, let's get to welding. now I have to make my cradles. I made one already. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Just I cut my total length of the cradle, you know. I'll mark on it where I want the bend, and then I'll score it on that mark with my side grinder with a cutting blade, you know. Let me get my shield. Like this. There you go. I've got it scored. Anyway, then this is the outside that you scored, and I bend it. I'm gonna bend it away from that score. That way, it's thinner, and the metal don't have to stretch and make that curve so hard, you know. So I'll put it in my vise, and I'll put it right on that. Right on the edge there, and then just hit it with the vise. All right. Then you have to go back and weld that up where you scored it. So that's pretty easy. Stick it back in there. And weld it. And there you have it. Same as this one. Nice cradle, easy to make, hardly no cutting. All right, so I got one done. Here it is. Felt pretty good about it. Got braces going this way and this way. I feel like it's real good and strong. I feel very comfortable putting the car on it and moving around and having no problems with it. It's actually probably better than they were before. But anyway, I gotta go get more welding rods tomorrow. I used my last welding rod on finishing it up there. But when I get the other one made, we'll set the car on it and see how they work. All right, so I got the other dolly under the car, made and under the car, as you see here, and it turned out real well. I like it a lot. Chase isn't here. I told you before, we work different shifts, and so I'm trying to get a lot of this stuff done throughout the week. So on the weekend we can get together and really be able to work on it when it takes the both of us. So the plan is we're starting to get the engine in. Me and Chase both have been doing some measurements and stuff, but this car had a mid plate in it already, bolted on here, and we took some measurements, and according to a 350 block, they didn't have their engine set back nearly as far as they could. And our mid plate is different. The back of our engine, the bolt pattern is different. We have to kind of change it anyway. So we're going to go ahead and move it back a little bit farther. The number one ball joint, or the number one spark plug could be even with your ball joint. So, all right, this is their mid plate right here. Here's ours. I got it lined up exactly the same where they're in relation to each other as far as where the oil pan sets on the 350 block versus 318 block. And I drilled the holes through it, 4 holes through it. And what we're going to do, we'll bolt their mid plate in. And I got these pieces of thread rod, and we will put 4 pieces of thread rod through their mid plate and bolt our mid plate to theirs, so our mid plate is in the exact same position as far as where the back of the engine bolts as theirs was. Only we can adjust it however we want to get our distance from the as far as the number one ball joint, or the number one spark plug in the ball joint is, we can adjust it from there, and we'll know where the back of our engine is going to set, so we can take measurements off from that, and we can tweak it a little bit to see about it, or everything fitting, our oil pan, fuel pump, stuff like that. The transmission, we'll actually be able to bolt our bell housing right on the back of that mid plate before we mount anything in. So we'll be able to check everything good and make sure everything's lining up right. And then the mid plate will be there where we need to be, and we can just weld off the frame to it, make our mounts to it. It should work out real well. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to try to get it bolted in. All right, I got it bolted in there. And now you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You see, here's our mid plate, here's theirs. It's in the exact same, exactly the same as in position as theirs is as far as where our engine bolts. And we've got these pieces of thread rod in here, and we can close it up or move it back very easily. But anyway, there it is. Now we have to take a lot of measurements and get it exactly where we want. But all right then, that's where we're at. All right, it's the weekend now. Well, not really Friday. Me and Chase, neither one of us work on Fridays. And you see Chase is back now. And what you got there, buddy?
Got my trophy.
Yep.
30 points. 30 points.
30 points.
Yep.
We'll get back to the video in the shop here in a little bit, but we'll take a minute and get a little bit of footage of the
Awards banquet.
Yeah, for the points at Mountain View. We said Chase got 3rd place, so that's where we're at.
Yep. Maybe I'll get a trophy.
Maybe we'll get a trophy. Maybe Chase will get a trophy. But
it'll be for the racing team. I said the trophy will be for the racing team.
Yeah, it'll be for the race team. We'll put it in the shop.
Yeah, it'll be our first thing we can put in the shop.
Yeah, but we'll get a little bit of footage here and we'll get back to the video.
James Hoffman. And second, with 5 thoughts.
Yeah, you worked hard for it, didn't you?
I guess. Yeah.
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 I mean, that means something, man. It's never easy to run for points
No.
because it's not all.
Well, and
It's
this year it was just 7 points race, so.
just 7 points races, but still,
I mean,
you have to finish
that's
7
what I'm saying.
races, basically, you know, or else
It isn't
be there.
just showing up with just 7 points race. You know?
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. So you do have to place decent. You do have to finish races, especially with 7. Yeah, you're right. 7 races, that does mean something. If you race all year and you just show up, you might win the championship. You know, if it's all year points thing. So yeah, that's good, man. But anyway, there's the trophy, and like I say, Chase is back now. Like I say, we work different shifts, but you ain't back for long.
No.
Found out this morning what?
I'm heading to Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
A winter storm.
Winter storm.
First winter storm, right?
Yeah. This will be my first one.
Looking forward to it?
No. I don't like the cold.
You like the money though.
Yeah, the money's good.
All right, but we thought we'd touch bases with you here. We don't know how long he's going to be away. But again, I said in the past, that's his job. It's important that he does it. If people's out of power, he's got to get them power. So, and that's the way he makes a living.
Yeah.
But anyway, get back soon.
Yeah.
Try.
I don't know how these winter storms go, so
Yeah.
there's no telling.
Maybe I'll have the engine figured out by the time we're back. But anyway, he's got to get rolling. He's got a plane to catch.
Yeah.
So we'll catch back with you in a little bit. Hey, we're back to, or I'm back to work on this thing. Chase made it to Connecticut to work at Storm. But I thought I'd show you this. I've got to adjust this a little more. You see I'm 1.5 inches back from the other mid plate. I'm going to show you how this actually works on adjusting this. I want to bring it in another 1/4 inch. So see, I've got a nut on each side of the mid plate, and then I got 2 nuts in between here. So I'll just loosen the inside nut here all the way around it, you know, and then after I get them loose, I can just tighten this one, and it'll pull it in, it'll squeeze it in until I get it where I want it. Where I'm wanting it is at 1.25 inches. So that's how that's going to work. All right, we are at 1.25 inches. Pretty well right on it, right there. So I'm going to remeasure. I'm going to remeasure on my ball joint, make sure I'm 1/4 inch in front of it, and I'll start getting my mid plate mounted in then. Okay, so I figured out how I'm going to get the mid plate mounted on. I've already started on it. I had to kind of figure it out. So I made these 1/4 inch pieces of steel coming off the mid plate. They're bolted on. I've got 4 of them already made. And then I cut this piece of tubing that is pretty close to this same size as this, a little bit smaller, but it's 1/8 inch steel. This 1/4 inch steel, and I'm just sliding it between there. I'm gonna weld it around the pipe good onto the pipe, and then I'm gonna weld it onto the steel, and that'll be it. Should be real strong welds that way. So I'm gonna tack it onto the 1/4 inch steel first. I'm gonna unbolt it, weld it real good, and then bolt it back on, and then I'll weld it to the roll cage. Well, I got the first one done. I got it welded all the way around it somehow or another. But now I got to do the other 3. But I think I will. I'll wait till tomorrow to do it. It's kind of late. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to do one just to see how it's going to work out. I usually do that, but I know I can repeat it. As long as I can get in there to weld it everywhere. I think I can. But I'm going to go in the house now, and I'll get the other 3 tomorrow. Hey there, guys. I've got 3 of the mounts made now on the mid plate, and I've got 1 left, and I saved it for last to show you how to do it. Show you how I do it. So let's get started making it, and see if we can get it done. Okay, so the first thing I do, I'm starting with a piece of pipe that I'm using, a longer piece of pipe. It's got to fit in here. So the first thing I want to do is not cut it to size. The first thing I want to do is make it to fit this pipe. So I gotta curve it around this pipe. So that's what I'm going to do first. And it's pretty simple to fit it. Easier than most people think. I'd say most people know how to do it, but maybe some people don't. So I'm going to show you how. Okay, so you take the end of the pipe right here, and I take and I'll make 4 marks. I'll put it in fourths on the pipe. Just like that. You can pretty much eyeball it, really. It's not that hard to do, but I use a square. I'll mark the top of it first, and then on 2 of the marks, I will come down. I'll start usually around 1/3 of the pipe, somewhere close to that. This pipe is at, I think it's like 1 inch and 1.25 or something like that. So I'll bring my line down, down the pipe, a little more than 1/4 of an inch. I guess close to 3/8. And I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. And then you can do this with a chop saw. I just can do a better job with side grinder. It's easier for me with side grinder. I think a lot of people feel the same way. But I've seen it done both ways, and I've done it both ways. It's just easier for me to get it better with a side grinder. So on the 2 marks that you made, you want to make a slit down to down that 3/8 or whatever, you know. If you have a bigger pipe, you'd want to make it deeper. Usually around 1/3 of the size of the pipe. In my experience, that gets you close. So, spin it around to the other side. There we go. Now on your other 2 lines, make a mark from the center of that line down to where you cut it. Like that. Do it all the way around it. Do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to want to cut from that other line down to where we just cut it to. Pretty simple. Just put it in the vise. And you want to cut it on all 4 cuts there. Alright. Now just from that we're going to be pretty close to right. But you see what we did there. If that makes sense to you now. So now I will go and I'll hold it up to our pipe and see where we're at, because we'll have to fine tune it a little bit now. Okay, now I'm going to stick it on the pipe here, and you can see just from that one little cut, that very minor, easy little thing we did, I could weld it just like that. But I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but you can see we got a pretty good fit already. And that works every time. It's very simple to do. But now I'll round the inside of it just a little bit and clean it up, and we should be real close. Okay, now what we need to clean it up with is the side grinder again. Side grinder is my favorite tool for fabricating. But you want to use a flat disc. Flat disc works real well, and it's curved, so it's real easy to get in there. You just get in there like that, and you can smooth this off and round it however you want. No problem. Like this. Voila. Okay, now that I have a pretty nice fit, I will hold it up here and I will mark it a little bit bigger just a hair bigger than it needs to be, because I've got it to fit this. This may not be exactly square. I'm gonna cut it just a hair bigger, and then I will shave it down to fit in here, you know. I don't want to just cut it square where it is and then I have a gap, you know, at the top or bottom, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna cut it right there and then work with it. Alright, so I checked it and I got to shave just a little bit off, and that's how I planned it, so that's good. So I usually, if I'm going to shave just a little bit off and I'm going to keep it straight, I'll put it in my vise and leave just a little bit sticking out, and then I'll just grind it down to the vise, and that seems to work pretty good. All right, let's see if she fits. Perfect. Perfect fit. That's what we want. Now I just gotta weld it in. Okay, the mid plate is in. It is done. I took the old mid plate off. There you have it. That's where the rear of our engine will be. So, you know, that's a big step, because now all we got to do is bolt our engine up to that and we can easily figure out the front mounts. Of course, it's going to take some pretty good fabrication to get them in. I already measured. We're going to have to do some stuff. I don't know exactly. It may end up not being too bad, but you know, it'll take some time. But anyhow, the reason I showed the fabrication and the welding of this is not because I'm a great welder or a great fabricator, because I'm not. I'm not a very good welder, and I'm not a very good fabricator. I'm a good enough welder to know if I did a great weld. I know if I did a good weld, and I know if I did a bad weld. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of people comment on all the stuff we do ourselves on this car, and you know, a lot of people don't do that, but a lot of people can do it. I'm no different than anybody else. If a good welder was watching this, they would tell you I'm not a great welder. I just get by. I'm terrible with a MIG welder. I do okay with a stick. And fabricating, just about anybody can fabricate. The difference between a real good fabricator and someone who's okay is they're a little bit cleaner, and they don't mess up as much, and they're a whole lot faster if they're good at it. When I fabricate, I take my time, and when I weld, I take my time. I try to put myself in the best position to make a good weld, and sometimes that means taking these doors off. I didn't have to take them doors off. I might could have welded that without taking the doors off. A good welder definitely could. But that put me in a better position to make a good weld. It takes more time for me. You know, just moving around, getting in different angle where I'm more comfortable, where some people can weld at all different angles. You know what I mean? And fabricating, I mess up sometimes, and good fabricators don't. Good fabricators do. But anyway, I just wanted to show anybody that's watching that I'm not real good at this stuff, but I do it anyway because I can do it, and anybody can do it, you know. they just got to take the time to. If you're not a real good welder, you know, if you're just starting to learn to weld, start out with easy stuff. Chase he's not that great at it, but he's learning. So he does projects to learn how to weld like he's on his own. Like this is something he's working on. He's making a grater blade for his four-wheeler. You know, he does little projects like that. He made an exhaust for his truck to help learn to weld. And some stuff on the car I'll let him weld. Some stuff I won't, you know. But if you're learning, a good place to learn on your car is on the bumpers. The bumpers are made to break anyway. You know what I mean? You don't want them to break, but you want them to bend. So it's not a crucial part that you're going to have to worry about falling apart on you. And that'd be a great place to learn. And it'll help you learn and help you save money, you know. I've saved a lot of money over the years doing little things I'm on like that. But anyhow, I just wanted to say that because there has been several comments since we've been making these videos on the stuff we do ourselves. I just want to say we're not that special. You know, anybody can do it. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and call this video. I feel like we got a great start on it, and the next video we'll actually get the block mounted the rest of the way in, and looking forward to that. So anyhow, and Chase will be back too. I don't think it's going to be gone too long. So anyhow, share these videos if you like them, man. If you know somebody likes dirt track racing or racing in general or just cars, share it. They might enjoy them, and we like to share them. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.